cracking one and not being able to understand others. Scientists every other day come across shocking discoveries. Hang on, as here are the most terrifying discoveries made by the scientists that left them scratching their heads due to its unusual characteristics. Preserved croc. Digging up an old tunnel, the archaeologists thought they would find the buried mummies of ancient people. Mummies they did actually find, only they did not belong to people, but were part of the crocodiles family. They were found near the western bank of the River Nile in the year 2019. There were 5 of the mummified crocodiles, and each of them was more than 3 meters long. These 2,000-year-old crocs were believed to be ancient Egyptian gods, and the mummification of these crocs was custom in Egypt's people to gain the favor of the crocodile god and goddesses. Tiny skeleton. Meet the tiniest human ever. Yes, this is no alien which you guys are seeing, but an actual person who holds the record of being the smallest one ever. When this skeleton became famous in the year 2013 as an alien baby that fell from the sky, scientists took possession of it and since then have been researching the weird features of the alien baby. It was not until 2019 that the scientists revealed that it was actually multiple bone mutations that caused the baby to be born with numerous deformities in his joints and ribs, as he was born with only 10 ribs instead of 12. Miniature coffin. Found in the soil of Scotland, these miniature coffins raised big questions as the scientists struggled to find out what actually happened to them. In the year 1836, a group of teenagers made a chilling discovery when they unearthed 17 miniature coffins, each containing tiny corpses inside them. Researchers getting their hands on this unbelievable artifact started their research. Some related them with the sailors' bodies that died on the sea. Others stated they have something to do with witchcraft. But none of them were satisfying enough for the researchers. Then, decades later, a scientist collected the evidence and stated that they were actually made by a shoemaker to remember the killings of 17 people by Burke and Hare, famous serial killers. Ancient dragon. Where dragons have never been taken seriously and are always considered part of folktales which have no truth in them, here is some convincing evidence for you all. As in central England, paleontologists have unearthed the skeleton of a giant dragon that is believed to be from the Jurassic era, which means that it is roughly 180 million years old. The giant was 10 meters long, and only its skull was 1.8 meters in length. The fossilized lizard is supposed to be a member of the marine family, and is now referred to as a sea dragon. Unicorn remains. First sea dragons, and now a unicorn? It's like all of them have suddenly decided to sneak out from thousands of years of hiding and reveal that they're not really as mythical as we assume them to be. Here, this one was found in the Siberian mountains. It's something that shook the scientists to their cores for 2 reasons. First, well duh, it was a unicorn. But secondly, where researchers used to believe that unicorn, like mammals, used to exist some millions of years ago, they were surprised to see this one only 29,000 years old. But sadly, instead of resembling the horse, it was more likely a rhino with a horn on its skull. Gold vomit. Well, who would have thought that vomit could turn out to be as precious as gold? But not yours or mine. But actually, it's whale's vomit that's extremely valuable. Known as ambergris, this man here has found some of it with the help of his dog on Lancashire Beach. It is usually formed in the intestines of the sperm whale when it has eaten thousands of squid beaks in a single day. And then, digesting some and excreting more of it, she gave out one of the most expensive fragrances in the world that's worn by millions of people around the globe. Centuries-old mermaid. Found inside the Japanese temple, the mummified mermaid shocked the scientists with its eerie looks. Believed to be found in the Pacific by fishermen in the late 1700s, the mummy was worshipped as a goddess, until the scientists revealed that it was not actually a goddess, but was actually a half-ape, half-fish creature joined together by an artist. But there were more surprises, even for the scientists, as when they took it for the CT scan, the scientists were stunned to see that even though the lower part of the mermaid was a fish, the upper body was made of clothes, except for the hands that were real, and the hair too, which were of some animal. So, not a mermaid, but no doubt an incredible piece of ancient art. Tied mummy. Giving a shock to archaeologists, the mummy was found buried inside a tomb in one of Peru's mountains. At first, it gave a shock, as the mummy was nothing like the traditional ones they're used to finding, but the 45-year-old male was weirdly tied in ropes, with her hands placed on her face and the ribs joined together, buried as it was sitting. The people thought that the mummy was tortured before being killed. But researchers had a different story to tell, as they revealed that it was not a tortured death, but actually a funerary practice common in ancient people. Mammoth tusks and skull. Not the scientist, but this time a local farmer from Michigan made a fascinating discovery outside his farm. And when informing the authorities, the scientists coming there to dig up the truth in the soil were shocked when it came out to be an actual huge woolly mammoth that was thousands of years old. But researchers were only able to discover some parts of the mammoth. They call it a huge discovery, as coming across only a smallest bone from the ancient creature can reveal so much about them. Whales in desert. Whales? Deserts together? Well, I guess now we can say that anything is possible in our small, unpredictable world. Present in Egypt, this place is known as the Valley of Whales because of the numerous whale carcasses found there. Studying them for years, the researchers revealed that there is only one possible theory to explain this bizarre phenomena: mass beaching, in which the whales willingly come on the beach and strand themselves on it till the tides move back and they are stranded there forever. Car graveyard. Thousands of cars hidden inside the mountain. When this explorer went inside the cave, he did not have any idea what might be waiting for him there. Safely coming down from the slippery slope, the man was surprised to see the pile of abandoned cars present at one end of the cave. And to find out more about them, they stepped in on their boats and headed towards them. Spending a few times there, they returned back. They told the viewers that those cars were actually abandoned by the British in the 1800s and have been present in the cave ever since. Ancient mosaic. While planting an olive tree in Gaza, this man hit a hard surface. Curious to know what it was, he started digging it up. And well, there it was, the remains of ancient culture, an ancient mosaic that was found underneath the man's garden. Dating back to the 5th and 7th century, these mosaics belonged to the Byzantine Empire. Filled with the pictures of 12 different animals and beasts, these mosaics were almost present in their original form, as their colors were still bright, as if painted just some days ago. When cleaned by the people, the researchers revealed that they were one of the finest mosaics ever recovered in the history of Gaza. Falling birds from the sky. At one moment, they're all flying casually in the sky, and the second, they've fallen down on the ground. But why? Never seen before, scientists too are baffled to experience this bizarre phenomena, as not one, but multiple people spotted numerous birds laying dead on the ground at different places. So what could be the possible reason for this weird behavior? Some say this is typical bird behavior when a large predator is coming their way, while others believe that there's some mystery behind this that still needs to be solved. Skeleton Lake. With the local government describing it as a mysterious lake, the Skeleton Lake of Rupkund, India has gathered the attention of thousands of people. Situated more than 5,000 meters above the sea level, Skeleton Lake usually remains frozen for most of the year. But when that ice thaws, visitors can see that the lake is flooded with people. Though the researchers have been trying to solve this mystery, they so far have come up with multiple theories, one of which is that the bodies belong to an ancient king and his town who died in a blizzard. But because all the skeletons have died in different times, and some even 1,000 years after the others, this lake remains an unsolved mystery. Creepy armadillo. Where armadillos still shock most of us, here is a mutated one. Found in the middle of the forest, the armadillo was standing still as a rock, but it was the scary features that caught the people's eye, as he was half human and half armadillo. With his face resembling a child, the creepy animal at some point could be seen moving his body. But with every such video does come a number of great skeptics who believe that it's just a prop placed in the middle of the forest. So, real or fake? A real mutated armadillo? Or just some sort of prop? You be the judge. Dino eggs. Workers, while repairing a broken road in China's Guangdong province, discovered something unusual. Not only unusual, but prehistoric too, as they found dinosaur eggs buried in the soil. Yeah, 43 actual dino eggs, and 19 of them were still intact. Even though the eggs were a surprising thing for people, according to the researchers, it was not their first time unearthing such eggs, as the Heiwan city of China has been the center of such discoveries since 1986. Toad inside a jar. Thinking he might unearth some of the oldest buried people on the land, this archaeologist from Jerusalem found something entirely different, as in 2017, while digging up the tomb, he found an old jar filled with the carcasses of toads, and there were almost 8 of them present inside the jar. But the thing which triggered the archaeologists the most was that they were brutally decapitated before being packed into the jar. The 4,000-year-old toads were almost in their original forms, and where there have been customs of ancient people placing the corpse's internal organs inside jars, finding animals buried along the coffins was something new for the archaeologists. Buried with daughters. While discovering the tomb of an ancient king in Egypt, archaeologists came across something strange, as along with the mighty king, there were 3 miniature coffins buried with him with newborn babies inside of them. But for what reason? Well, at first, people thought that this might just be a coincidence. But studying them for a bit, the researchers revealed that it was not a coincidence, but that these coffins were buried along with the pharaoh intentionally. As in ancient Egypt, it was custom for the king and the fathers to be buried along with their daughters, who were considered a lucky charm for their afterlife. Hobbit people. Scientists have recently unearthed the remains of the tiniest humans present on the planet Earth, and have named them the Hobbit people, which roamed the Earth about 100,000 years ago. And they've been troubling the minds of scientists since their discovery, as a fully grown human from the Hobbit world is believed to only be 3 feet tall, and the scientists describe them as small people but born with large brains and even larger teeth compared to their minimum length. They had no chins and had even smaller foreheads. However, they were surprisingly sharp-minded, as there are metal tools that were recovered along with their remains, which used to help them in their survival. Humanoid creature. Not coming across a 1,000-year-old mummy, but the researchers were shocked to see this slimy, tiny creature laying on the beach. It was merely a few inches in length and was considered dead until it lifted its head and scared everyone. But what was it, and where did it come from? To answer these questions, the scientists brought the creature from the Australian beach to the labs with the intention of finding out more about it. But since then, nothing was revealed. Therefore, some say it was an alien creature, while others believe it to be a prehistoric creature that the ocean brought to the surface. Ancient tribe. It turns out that not only mythical creatures, but people can shock scientists as well. Found in the Brazilian forest, these people were photographed from a helicopter which was hovering around the woods. These strange men have dyed themselves in red and yellow paints, and even though standing down, their creepy appearance was enough to scare anyone out. But they had actually painted themselves as a custom practiced by their ancient tribes, in which they used to cover themselves in red paints to alert the outsiders of the dangers that might come if they ever tried to invade their territory. But who were these people? Well, the Brazilian authorities never found out. Dinosaurs and people. While many of us believe that the dinosaurs had gone extinct years before humans came into existence, every other day brings a story that may prove us wrong. Like here, when archaeologists unearthed the most unbelievable artifacts which showed people and dinosaurs living together. Wait, what? Did I actually say those words? Well, yeah, because it's the truth. Here, some are riding them, and others are seen standing alongside them. Even if it was just a piece of art, scientists are baffled as to how on earth these people could imagine the exact species of dinosaurs which they've made today with the help of fossils. Deserted water pool. Hot, boiling water, looking like a mountain's lava coming out of the desert sand. But lava? In the middle of the desert? How on earth would that be possible? Well, found in the middle of the Egyptian desert, this small pool was scaring people out as they believed it to be the work of a desert monster. But they were shocked when it was revealed that nothing outwardly strange was going on, but it was actually oil that was found in the middle of the forest and was boiling due to the extremely high temperatures of the desert. The 300-year-old mummy was found in Vietnam and shocked the researchers as it was buried in a mysterious way. Found inside an old tomb in Vietnam, the mummy corpse was covered in 2 coffins. The first one was more than 2 meters long, and the other was a little bit smaller. Wrapped inside the 2 coffins, the corpse was resting there, with its mouth half open, which made it famous with the name of the Screaming Mummy. The coffin was made of lime, charcoal, and 2 more components. But the thing which shocked the researchers was the oil they recovered from the body, as it was the first time a corpse was embalmed with oil. Mummified finger. Finding the finger inside one of the pyramids, scientists knew that they had unraveled something incredible, as this was no ordinary finger, but a 13-inch long one that was caught along one of the ancient corpses. The finger, other than its giant size, was badly torn from the sides and had a nail that looked like it would come off at any moment. Though there have been many theories of giants present in the eras millions of years before we came into existence, this might be proof of those giants surfacing the Earth before us. But since its first discovery, nothing much about the creepy finger has then been revealed, which has made people even more suspicious of it. City of ants. Smallest, but still born with the sharpest of minds. Don't judge them on their sizes, as these ants can build their entire town underneath the ground. Present in the Brazilian lands, hiding under muddy soil, these ants are building the biggest metropolis. Therefore, trying to find out more about it, the archaeologists are pouring more and more concrete inside, and when it hardens, it will make it easier to dig deeper without damaging the ants' property. Thank you very much for watching the video. Do like and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again